changes in the attitudes and behavior is very important, right? So, to this we can say that rural communication is a planned, right? Planned and systematic use of communication. What do you mean by systematic?
Systematic means it should be
Order line.
interlinked
In an order.
Yeah, in an order,
an
step
order.
by step.
Order line.
from
So,
basic to higher. It should be aligned.
yeah, step by step in an order. You have to use make use of this communication, systematic use of which is planned in a systematic way. Okay, so how can we make use of this communication? Through various channels, right? What are the important channels? 3 communication methods or 3 important channels as we discussed earlier. There are 3 important channels.
Communication goes
Interpersonal channel,
interpersonal channel,
Intrapersonal,
personal, group first,
yeah, group communication and
two-way. No, sorry.
mass communication.
Mass communication. Yes, madam.
Okay, so because these are the 3 communication methods which are very popular in
Madam, someone is
communicating
telling
to
in
rural
Google,
audience.
madam. Google search, madam.
Yes,
Someone is searching in Google and telling, madam.
who is searching on Google?
I know, madam, but I
I'm
have
just
to.
searching on Google.
No, I don't search the Google. Someone
Yeah.
gave the answers in a exactly Google typing, madam. Google give the answers.
Okay, please answer whatever you know. Okay, don't search on
Own
Google.
answers. Own answers.
Okay. So, rural communication. How do you define rural communication now? Rural communication is a planned and systematic.
Yes, madam. Systematic
Communication
level.
is a planned and systematic use of communication through different approaches or through different methods. And what are the 3 different methods? Interpersonal channels,
Interpersonal, mass communication, and group.
and mass communication. 3
Yes.
channels.
3 channels.
Okay, so this is the definition of rural communication. So it's easy to recollect and you can define and elaborate. You can provide examples also. Interpersonal channels. What are interpersonal channels? Face-to-face communication. You can cite examples for group and as well as for mass communication also. Okay. See, to collect and exchange information among the people in the rural areas, planning is very important, right? Planning is the first initiative. You have to plan it in a proper way. You have to do research and you have to plan in a proper way. Okay. So I told you we have a particular aim or objective, right? A goal, particular goal to achieve.
Yes.
So first you have to identify that particular goal. And how do you do that? By identifying the problem, right? Problems faced by the people.
Yes.
So once you are able to identify the problems faced by people, then you will be defining your goal or objective. Okay. And accordingly, you will be providing solution or you would be providing options for the solution, right? That's what we discussed earlier as an extension officer. This is our duty to provide a solution to their problems. Then another thing is you can mobilize people. What do you mean by mobilizing people?
Movement, or we want people to just active on that issue particularly.
Yeah, you can persuade people, right, to take certain action, right? And you can also assist them in solving their problems. The problem can be anything, any issue, healthcare. There are so many issues, so many problems faced by people in rural communities, right? So after identifying, you can not only you can mobilize the people to take an action, for development, but you can also help them, assist them in solving their problems. Okay. And in this process, it's not so easy, I'll tell you, because I told you the mindset of the people are there is very conventional. So, lot of misunderstandings also may arise during this process, right? At the initial stage, also misunderstandings between the communicator and the target audience. Target audiences can be anybody for whom you're designing the
only
strategy.
particularly targets any any
Target
age group or any like ladies or women or children's target
audience,
audience,
farmers, anybody.
farmers,
So
anybody.
you are designing that particular strategy.
Strategies.
So to avoid that misunderstandings, you have to sit with them. You have to talk to them. Okay. And
Yes,
then
madam.
this will particularly arise during plan implementation time, when we, after researching, when you are going to provide them solutions, at that time there is a possibility that misunderstandings may arise because people will be not open to your suggestions. As an extension officer or as a researcher, if you're going to provide them solutions, they may not be willing to accept that, because sometimes they might feel that it is against their conventional methods which they are following, the traditional methods. So these things may happen. You need to be prepared. So it may happen at any stage, but particularly during the implementation stage, this particular problem may arise, misunderstandings. Okay. So, and also you have to first, in order to make your target audiences understand what your perspective is, first you have to enhance your communication skills to the level of your target audiences. I told you, you have to sit with them, you have to talk to them, you have to understand their nature, their behavior, their attitudes, and you have to enhance your skills in order to convince your target audiences. Okay.
Yes, madam.
So that it will help you to exchange dialogues or communication more effectively with your target audiences. So this is necessary at all the levels, from the planning to the implementation stage. At every stage, you have to enhance your communication skills in order to keep in pace with your audiences. Okay. You have to maintain a good rapport with them. Okay. You have to act or operate according to their mindset. Okay. You have to convince them accordingly. So you have to put yourselves in their shoes. Okay. That's the concept of empathy, right? You have putting yourselves in another shoes. Yeah. Like me, you have to think according to their circumstances. Okay. Then what you can do is you can apply this new technologies. Okay. Like you can provide them training on how to use certain equipments. Okay. For example, in farming techniques also, you have a lot of new equipments coming in. So you can teach them how to use
ट्रैक्टर एंड मैडम जी वो ट्रैक्टर भी, और फिर वो क्या बोलते हैं उसमें जो वो क्या बोलते हैं वो ये
use of
मैडम
pesticides.
पुरगुला मंदो जो डालते हैं ना मैडम, आजकल जो है ना उससे डाल रहे हैं मैडम, वो
Manure.
ड्रोन से डाल रहे हैं, और नए नए टेक्निक्स भी सीख रहे हैं वो लोग भी.
So you have to teach them to use these new tools or equipments, or you have to teach them the new technology. You have to train them. Okay. So how can you train them? You can conduct some programs,
प्रोग्राम
class.
ग्राम सभा वैसा करके वो लोग को वहां पर बुला के उनको सिखाते, उन लोग को ट्रेनिंग देते, ऐसा कर लिए तो अच्छा रहता, वो ये बोल
Yes.
के बोल.
Training sessions also you can provide them, classes.
वीडियोस या फिर डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज ऐसा कुछ भी बना के भी शेयर कर लेते हो एक दूसरे को.
Yeah. So this should be done particularly at the grassroots level. What do you mean by grassroots level?
Basic level,
Yeah.
initial stages.
Grassroots level. That means you have to start from the scratch.
फर्स्ट लेवल.
Yeah. And then you have to, convince the people. You have to train them in order to improve their livelihood or improve the quality, or also you have to make sure that there is a particular impact of your training, of your communication strategy which you are implementing, right? You can do this through extension programs, right? So many programs. I told you, we discussed earlier last class about some programs. You were discussing about farming programs on Doordarshan, right? So through those programs also, you can improve their quality, their use of, you can improve their skills, right? You can provide them training. So then what are the, can you identify some of the problems that, this extension communication or rural communication will help rural people to overcome some basic problems? Select any area, agriculture or healthcare, any area, and identify problems which a development communicator or an extension as you as an extension communicator can solve. There's so many problems which rural people face, right? So what are the problems? We were discussing what are the challenges faced by people in rural areas and how to
Health,
over.
education, and
Select
उनका
any one area and define the problems in that particular area. Select any one area.
all city.
Not that area. I'm talking about any sector, agriculture, healthcare, or education.
Karimnagar.
Identify the problems in that particular segment. For example, if you're choosing agriculture or if you're choosing education, so what are the problems faced by rural people in that particular?
Karimnagar, madam ji.
No, I'm not talking about that area. I'm talking about that particular sector. If you're talking about education, what are the problems faced by rural people for education? Lack of schools,
अभी
lack
भी
of
स्कूल नहीं है मैडम,
infrastructure.
अभी भी स्कूल पढ़ने करने के लिए बहुत दूर दूर तक जाते हैं बच्चे.
What are the other things? Lack of
Roads,
Agency areas people suffered for road facility,
roads
lack
madam
of
ji, or
road facility, lack
transportation,
of health
transportation and
facilities.
books and otherwise facilities. Am I correct, madam? No.
agriculture. Agriculture.
Farming,
क्या मैडम?
farmers also suffering
What
some
are the problems?
problems, madam.
Yeah, what kind of problems? I'm asking you to identify the problems.
Water problems, పెస్టిసైడ్ తెగుళ్ళు అంటారు కదా మేడం. ఫెస్ట్ లో వచ్చినప్పుడు సరైన సలహాలు ఇచ్చే వాళ్ళు అక్కడికి దొరికే వాళ్ళు లేకపోవడం, తెగుళ్ళు ఇట్లా వచ్చినప్పుడు తక్కువ చిన్న చిన్న కమతాలు ఉండడం వల్ల యాంత్రికీకరణ వినియోగించుకోలేకపోవడం, డ్రిప్ ఇరిగేషన్ లేకపోవడం వల్ల అధికంగా నీరు వినియోగించుకోవాల్సి రావడము, డ్రిప్ లేదా స్ప్రింక్లింగ్ పెట్టడానికి డబ్బులు లేకపోవడం, గవర్నమెంట్ స్కీమ్స్ ఉన్నప్పటికీ కొందరికి తెలియకపోవడం వల్ల కానీ లేదా రెడ్ టేపిజం వల్ల రాకపోవడం, ఇలాంటి సమస్యలన్నీ ఉన్నాయి మేడం.
Then there is lack of resources, as you told. People lacking knowledge, right?
नहीं, रिसोर्सेस रहते हैं मैडम जी, मगर उसको सही तरीके से इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करने के लिए मनी नहीं रहता, वो करने वाले नहीं रहते मैडम. मेन चीज
Lack of manpower.
Manpower also madam. Yes.
Okay, so
nobody सामने आके कोई भी नहीं करते मैडम जी.
people are unwilling.
या मैडम, अगर वो लोग एजुकेटेड रहते तो वो लोग आगे आके करते, मगर ज्यादातर जन अपने कई को बोले सर कहीं रहते.
అంజద్ గారు మీరు తెలుగులోనా చెప్పండి, ఇంగ్లీష్ లోనా చెప్పండి, హిందీ చెప్తే మాకు రాదు అసలు.
మేడం కి తెలుగు అర్థం కాదు అందుకని.
మేడం కి అర్థం అవుతుంది, మాట్లాడలేరు అంతే. మేడం కి అర్థం అవుతుంది తెలుగు.
Okay, okay.
Okay. See, first of all, you need to identify that particular problem, right?
మగర్ హమ్ కానీ మేము తెలుగులో చెప్పినా హిందీలో చెప్పినా ప్రాబ్లం అవుతాయి భయ్య, వేరే వాళ్ళకి ప్రాబ్లం అవుతుంది. వాళ్ళు మళ్ళీ
Okay,
కంప్లైంట్
okay.
చేసినా చేస్తారు. వాళ్ళకి లేనిపోని పరిశ్రమలు ఉంటాయి వాళ్ళకు.
Go forward, no problem.
ఆ,
Okay. Who is the student ID? Student.
उनो है मैडम,
Ma'am?
ये
No.
लास्ट क्लास में आए थे, देखो मैडम, ऑनलाइन क्लास में, ऑफलाइन क्लास में.
मैम उम्मी कुलसुम
कुलसुम.
Okay. Wholesome. So, as a rural communicator or as an extension officer, first you have to identify the area. Just not that area which you're talking about, that particular sector I'm talking about. Okay. Then you have
Okay,
to
okay, madam.
identify the problems in that particular sector. Okay. Then only you would be able to overcome the problems in designing projects. Okay. But if you don't understand the problem, if you don't sit with the people, if you don't talk to them, if you don't understand the problem at the grassroots level, then there will be a problem in designing project. Okay. Because you have to take into account the perceptions, okay, the perceptions of the people, rural people, your community, and the capacities also, their capacity, whether how capable they are. That also you have to take into account, right? You have to take care of that aspect also. So here, this as a communicator, if you're communicating to your rural audiences, this rural communication can help to ensure that the design and the action plan of a project or the strategy that you are designing, you have to first take into account the attitude of the people. What do you mean by the attitude of the people?
उनका
Yes,
एटीट्यूड
there are
दिखाते हैं
psychology
मैडम.
students here. Amjad,
यस,
Nafisa.
एटीट्यूड.
What do you mean by
एटीट्यूड बोले तो
attitude of people?
एटीट्यूड बोले तो अखंडा मैडम जी.
No. Attitude. What do you mean by attitude of people?
एटीट्यूड यानी कि मैडम उनके एटीट्यूड में उन्होंने रहते, उन्होंने दूसरे एटीट्यूड से निकलते नहीं, उनके उनके बिहेवियर में उन्होंने
No,
रहते मैडम.
not that attitude.
Madam, attitude means it is their behavioral characteristics of the in front of any others. They have to show.
Yes,
नो नो,
exactly. Yes.
मैं भी वही बोला ना मैडम.
What do you mean by attitude of the people? Attitude.
Attitude reflects the mindset and perception of a person, the thinking capacity and the perceptions of a person.
Generally, how they
This is
perceive
the
things
attitude.
and how
Hmm.
they behave, the behavioral aspects, right?
Because every coin has a two side now, madam. So it depends on the person perception ke how it will look.
Okay. Yes. How they perceive and also the capacities of the people. I told you how capable they are. What do you mean by capacities or how capable they are? What do you understand by that? Capacity of the people.
Capability
To
of doing
understand the situation, to handle that
Yeah.
in a good manner is called the
Yeah. Whether they are able to accept or not, the capacity.
So bearing the unbearable things also can be considered.
No, it is the way how they are going to handle or accept the things. Because you are going to implement a project, right? Considering the attitudes and needs of these rural people. So you have to also take care the capacity. That means whether the mindset of the people will allow them to accept that particular solution or not. The levels of acceptedness, whether they are willing to accept or not. For example, if you're talking about, I told you new innovations, right? And people will fear to accept new innovations because they will be very, they will not be so eager to accept new innovations. They will be in constant fear, right? To accept new things. So that is the mindset of the people, the capacity of the people. So first you have to gauge, you have to monitor the attitudes, the perceived needs and the capacity of the people to whom you are intending your strategy, or to the people whom you are trying to help with your project, right? With your strategy. See, many communication projects have failed in the past because, people don't conduct research. People don't go to the field. The extension officer, the rural communicators, they don't go to the field. They don't sit with people. They don't engage with people, right? They design projects made on assumptions. What do you mean by assumption? Assumptions.
Assumption means if I will take any project, I have to enter into the basic words. It will be happened. They may be think that, but actually face-to-face interaction and rural, that is the different thing. It is the practical. Only it will comes the result oriented. Actually, they are not doing that.
It's just your imagination. So just a tentative statement. You're not sure whether it is right or wrong, right?
It is like a hypothesis, madam. It's like a hypothesis, assumption.
Yeah, that means hypothesis is assumption. That means you're not sure whether it could be right, it could be wrong. You're not sure, but without properly
guessing it, the guessing part only assumption.
Yeah, so without being assured that it is right or wrong, without ensuring it, you're moving forward and you're designing the projects, right? For the people. That means, for example, you're not sure about the willingness or the, capacity or the acceptedness of the rural people, whether they can accept or not. You're just making an assumption that, okay, they will accept. You're not going and researching there. You're not sitting with the people. You're not talking, and you're not coming to a conclusion whether they accept or not. You're just simply, it's your assumption that, okay, if we design this strategy, people are going to understand and they will accept our project. The beneficiary is going to, the intended beneficiary is going to accept. So it's simply an assumption. So because rural people's mindset is, I told you, it's very different, right? So you cannot say unless and until you go to the field. So that's why so many projects have been failing, especially in the context of adoption to new technologies, right? People are unwilling in the rural community. They are not willing to adopt a new technology. They are happy with their own old conventional ways. Okay. So you have to, take into consideration the capacity of the people. Now, you should not go with only mere assumptions. Okay. And you also have to, ensure whether people are going to adopt new things, whether it be new technology or new development, new changes that your project is going to, offer, right? Because this will, anyhow, whatever projects you're going to or schemes you're going to implement will directly or indirectly affect the way they live, right? Whether the way of living, the way of their working. For example, if you are providing solutions on new farming, modern farming techniques or organic farming, so this is surely going to affect the way they are working or the way they are thinking, because they are very particular about their age-old customs and practices. So it is going to be a huge or big challenge for you as a rural communicator to handle all this pressure, right? So that's what. What is the key here? Talk, talk, and talk. That means go sit with people, go to the field, sit with people, talk and know their mindset, know their attitude, and then design projects accordingly. Try to convince them.
Yeah, face-to-face interaction is most important in any project in the rural areas, man.
Yeah.
Effectively intact. Only face-to-face.
Yes, interpersonal communication is very effective instead of group and mass. Because if you want to change the attitudes and perception and behavior of people in rural areas, one-on-one or face-to-face communication is an excellent way of changing their mindset, changing people's mindset, right? Okay, see, there are so many, earlier there are so many schemes that has gone wrong. There are so many irrigation schemes, okay, launched by the government. so many programs, right? The programs on, let's say, crop varieties. It's a big failure because they have failed to bring about that attitudinal or behavioral change in the rural community. Hence, the project, the scheme, or that strategy is failed. Unless and until you're successful in bringing about that attitudinal or behavioral change in your targeted audiences. Can you identify any successful scheme in the past in rural areas that has been successful among and very popular among rural communities? What about this Kalyana Lakshmi scheme?
Ma'am, Kalyan Lakshmi scheme
ये
is
शादी के लिए पैसे देते
progressing
मैडम
day by day, na,
शादी
madam. It's very useful for both urban and rural areas.
Yeah, but was it successful?
सबके लिए दे रहे मैडम वो सबके लिए दे रहे ना मैडम अब नया स्कीम दे रहे मैडम जी वो गैस का सब्सिडीज भी दे रहे हैं ना गवर्नमेंट
Was it able to bring a behavioral or attitudinal change? No, right? This was a failure
No.
in
Why,
terms
madam?
of changing the perspective. What is the attitudinal or behavioral change with this scheme?
Yes, ma'am. Whatever you said is absolutely correct, ma'am. There is no change their mindsets in the Kalyana
Yeah.
Lakshmi, whatever the rural or urban areas. They are always under the age only. They set the marriages. Then after only they will
Yeah,
claim.
because of this scheme, because the benefits they are offering under this scheme, people are more focused. Instead, if they they provided the same money for education or research purpose, it would have been beneficial, right, in bringing about a
Yes.
change in their
Do that.
attitude or behavior or perception.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, absolutely correct.
Yeah. So what are the other schemes that were successful? Any scheme? There are so many
But
schemes launched by the government.
मैडम जी
Any
आरटीसी
scheme which was able to
महालक्ष्मी
bring change? Think about any scheme. There are so many schemes, right?
महालक्ष्मी
Actually,
स्कीम
their
मैडम बस
motive is exactly absolutely correct, madam. Whatever they are project or whatever they are giving the public, but it is not related. It is not go through the what is the use and why they are given this opportunity. You have to utilize the more of awareness is lack of awareness only. It is failing, madam. Whatever the projects, whatever the government providing schemes are failure totally. There is no motive. Motive is there in project, but it is not bottom level. It is not. They are not aware of that anything. What is the purpose? Why they are giving to this benefits to the public? It is there is a failure.
This failure is from the planning and implementation stage.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly.
Yeah. Then we have this for farmers also. We have so many schemes, right? This Pradhan Mantri
दलित
Kisan.
बंधु दलित बंधु
Yeah. So
Dalita Bandhu, Pradhana Mantri, Raitu Bandhu, Raitu
రైతు బంధు
Bima,
రైతు బంధు
Raitu Bandhu, all are failure projects.
Ma'am, no one are there to explain the rules and regulations for them. After
Where-
applying,
Hmm.
they will fail. Every scheme will be failed, ma'am.
Yeah, after the implementation stage, they are
Why?
not
Because they don't have
struggling.
that knowledge.
Yeah.
now madam now this today is the government also given to subsidies madam cylinders no today tomorrow is launching the subsidies madam gas cylinders
See, at the implementing the planning stage,
Everything are failed, madam.
it's only on the paper. At the
Only
end,
on the paper, that's all.
only the bureaucrats are the gainers who are beneficiaries. Because people, you provide so many schemes. If you go and talk to people, most of the people are not aware of the schemes, the benefits of the schemes. They don't utilize in a proper way. As a rural communicator or officer or extension officer, people are failing on their part to explain, to create awareness. And also after implementation, they are not able to properly monitor, right? Or they are not able to evaluate the scheme, right? You have to do that. It's very essential to evaluate, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So in order to address the existing gaps could be anything, right? The communication gap or infrastructure gap, resources, any gap. In order to address that existing gap, you have to mobilize. First thing is investment part. Am I right? Investment is necessary or not? If you want to implement any project for for a particular community, investment on behalf
पैसा
of
होना जरूरी है मैडम जी, पैसा नहीं है तो कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते.
investment on behalf of the particular organization who is implementing the project, right?
Whatever the state government or central government, ma'am, the implementation is who are the authority of the
Only at the paper level.
particular.
They are
Yes,
sanctioning so many crores of rupees. But
and we
in
have the capital
reality,
there, madam. Without capital, they won't run. Though they have the capital, but implementation, lack of implementation, lack of awareness to the who is the beneficiary exactly, who are the beneficiaries are only in such a way only they are failing. That's why the who are the beneficiary is the lack of knowledge only, lack of authority, fulfillment. It is failing all the projects.
yeah, they are spending crores of rupees on these projects. But what's the use?
There is no
We
use.
have,
Everything.
yeah, there's no use. This is what about this
ఊర్లలో ఒక మాట
Atmanirbhar?
అంటారు మేడం, తెలుగులో ఒక మాట అంటారు మేడం, బూడిదలో పోసిన
Yeah.
పన్నీర్ అయిపోతుంది అన్నమాట.
Yeah, tell.
అదే మేడం, బూడిదలో పోసిన పన్నీర్ అయిపోతుంది. ఎవరికైనా కూడా అంత తెలిసి ఉంటది, కానీ ఎవ్వరు ఏం చేయలేరు. ఎవ్రీబడి నోస్ దిస్ ఈజ్ ద బెనిఫిషియరీ, బట్ they won't get the process, they won't give knowledge to those persons who are the beneficiary, who are the waiting for the
The
benefit.
scheme is not properly utilized by the
Yes,
beneficiaries, but the
Exactly, madam.
bureaucrats are making
Ma'am.
use of it. It is going to bureaucrats, their
मैम
pockets.
यहाँ पे हेड्स रहते हैं ना मैडम, विलेज के हेड्स रहते हैं ना, उन लोगों का भी उन लोग भी धोखा दे रहे मैडम. क्यों बोले तो वो सरपंच के पास पैसे लेना, उन लोगों के पास इंटरेस्ट ज्यादा रहे तो भी उन लोगों के पास जाते, मगर बैंक में लोन ले लेते. क्यों बोले तो उन लोगों को रूल्स कोई भी नहीं बताते ना, ऐसा कम होता, सब्सिडी रहता, ये सब रहता बोल के नहीं बोलते कोई
Because
भी.
these people are highly influenced by these opinion leaders, right? The sarpanch, all these are opinion leaders. People blindly follow them, right? Without any question. And what about this Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme?
It is an excellent scheme, ma'am, but the awareness is
Implementation
lack of
failed
awareness,
madam.
implementation, and
Yeah.
the selfish people are there who are their well-wishers, who are their subordinates, who are their self goals only. They are implementing. They are giving to those persons. They are giving to the knowledge to only that particular targeted audience only. That is the
और
why
एक यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है बोले तो मैडम, फार्मर्स को अभी 1 ईयर के लिए देते ना मैडम उन लोगों को,
Please, yeah.
तो हाँ उन लोगों को मिल रहा पैसा, मगर कौन लैंड के ओनर्स है वो फार्मिंग करने वाले, उन लोगों को नहीं मिल रहा.
See, when this was introduced, Atmanirbhar Bharat was introduced, it was introduced with a vision to completely transform this agricultural infrastructure of the country, right?
yes, ma'am.
It's
Yes.
your own product, madam. We don't यानी कि इससे क्या होता बोले तो बाहर के चीजें खरीदने का कम करो, अपने देश में बनी हुई चीजों को पहले उसको खरीदो, उसको यूज करने से अपने देश में इनकम बढ़ता ना बोल के सबको, हर कोई यानी कि हर किसी को उससे काम मिलता बोल के.
But what is the progress?
प्रोग्रेस तो अभी भी वैसी है मैडम जी, पहले भी बाहर से इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट होता था, अभी भी वही हो रहा है.
And what is the contribution to GDP?
इट्स लो मैडम जी, तो बोले तो जितना ये जीएसटी आ गया उसके जब से बिजनेस ही डाउन हो गया मैडम.
So these projects are failing at the implementation level itself.
मैडम जी जीएसटी है ना, नॉट ओनली अर्बन स्टूडेंट, अर्बन लोगों के लिए भी नहीं है, रूरल लोगों के लिए है, उनके पे भी उतना ही गिर रहा, तो वो लोग कहाँ से कर पाएंगे मैडम जी.
छोटा सा चीज खरीदो तो भी उसको भी जीएसटी पे करना
Tax.
पड़ रहा मुझे.
And also if they're providing subsidies and loans, they are charging interest
इंटरेस्ट रेट हाईएस्ट.
minimum 3% per annum. So
Yes, ma'am.
how will, yeah.
मैडम जी
maybe
वो नहीं देते, वो लोन्स नहीं मिलते मैडम जी, वो 1000 में 1-2 जनों को मिलते हैं मैडम वो लोन। मुद्रा लोन है मैडम, मुद्रा लोन के लिए टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस, बहुत टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस है मैडम, वो एक्चुअली सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट
Exactly.
स्कीम है वो, मगर उससे लोन्स नहीं मिल रहे। जैसे कि अब
अमित भाई
रिसेंटली
आप सच बोल रहे हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री
मुद्रा लोन एक्सेलेंट, मगर वो देने के लिए कोई बैंक कुछ भी नहीं दे रही।
नहीं दे रहे, वही तो
That
बोल
is
रहा हूँ ना।
yeah, they're
beneficiary.
not agreeing.
ముద్ర లోన్ ఎవరు
I'm
ఇస్తలేరన్న,
telling it's
మీకు
only on
టర్మ్స్ అండ్
paper.
అవునన్నా
కండిషన్స్
అదే చెప్తాను అమ్జద్ భాయ్,
మీకు
ఎవరు
టర్మ్స్ అండ్
ఇయ్యట్లేదు. ఎందుకంటే
కండిషన్స్
అదే వాళ్ళ
మీకు
బ్యాంక్ లో తెలిసిన వాడు
షాప్
ఎవడో
లైసెన్స్
ఉంటాడో, ఆ
అడుగుతున్నాడు,
పొలిటీషియన్ ఉంటాడో వాడికి
షాప్
ఇచ్చేస్తారు.
లైసెన్స్ అడుగుతున్నాడు, జిఎస్టీ అడుగుతున్నాడు, లేదంటే మీ దగ్గర ఏమైనా ట్రేడ్ లైసెన్స్ అడుగుతున్నాడు, లేకపోతే ఉద్యమ సర్టిఫికేట్ అడుగుతున్నాడు, షాప్ రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ అడుగుతున్నాడు, అవి ఏమేమో జిఎస్టీ ఉన్నాయి, మన జిహెచ్ఎంసి కార్పొరేషన్ ఇది వీళ్ళది కూడా లైసెన్స్ కావాలంటే ఇదేదో
మున్సిపాలిటీ,
అన్ని
అవును
అడుగుతున్నారు.
మున్సిపాలిటీలు ఉంటాయి, మున్సిపాలిటీలో కావాలి,
అది
గ్రామ పంచాయతీ
ఇవన్నీ
ఉంటాయి. అది
చెప్తుంటే,
కష్టం అది.
ఇవన్నీ ఉండుంటే లోన్కి ఎందుకు వెళ్తాడు వాడు?
అవును, అది ఎవరు చేయట్లేదు బ్రదర్.
అరే చిన్న కార్లకు వాళ్ళకు జిఎస్టీ నుంచి వస్తుంది, జిఎస్టీ ఒకసారి వచ్చిందని అంటే వాడు ఏం నుంచి చేస్తాడు? ఐటీ అడుగుతున్నాడు, ఒక నా 2 లక్షల మీద అడిగితే ఐటీ అడుగుతున్నాడు, ఐటీ
ఇదంతా
నుంచి
అవేర్నెస్ లేదంటావా అమిజద్ భాయ్?
The
ఇదంతా అవేర్నెస్.
paperwork is horrible.
ఎస్.
ఎస్.
See, I'm telling
Who
you,
is the responsible person, madam? Who is the responsible person for to give the awareness to those persons who
that's
are
what
waiting
we,
for them?
as a rural communicator, we are failing to do our part because government, they're doing their part. They are filling the pockets of bureaucrats. So this is the role. It's the role of we as a rural communicator, as a journalist, as a development communicator to intervene and educate the community, the rural people, and create awareness to change their attitude. We have to mobilize them. See, I tell you, there are excellent schemes for rural people in our country, but everything is failing because it is failing to reach the beneficiaries, the target audiences. Crores of rupees are being sanctioned for each schemes, right?
మేడం
And
జీ
who's
రీసెంట్లీ
taxpayers' money? These all are our money, right? Our money, taxpayers' money,
ఎస్
and
మేడం.
we are filling the pockets of these bureaucrats because people are not aware of the rights, of the schemes, of the what are the benefits they are getting. That's what, as a extension communicator, you are just going there, you are implementing the project, you're coming back. You're not sitting with them, you're not creating awareness, you're not mobilizing them. And after the project is implemented, you're not evaluating. Then how will you gauge its effectiveness, whether the
మొబిలైజేషన్
effective or
మొబిలైజేషన్ बोलते क्या मैडम?
persuading people?
बोले तो
Means after educating them about the scheme, you have to persuade them to utilize that scheme.
ओके ओके, वो स्कीम के बारे में मालूम रहे के भी उसको यूज नहीं करे तो
So
उसको
you
मोबिलाइटिंग
have to
बोलते हैं।
yes, you have to persuade them, mobilize them,
ओके
because mobilizing plays a very important role. See, project formulation is done, then
मैडम, अभी
the
भी
project
बहुत सारे स्कीम्स हैं मैडम, मगर हम लोग उसको जान के भी है ना मैडम अनजान छोड़े थे। अब
utilize
जैसे कि
few of the
प्रधानमंत्री
utilize. Yeah,
प्रधानमंत्री प्रधानमंत्री लोन लोन का भी एक स्कीम चल रहा है मैडम जी, तो उसका मेरे मालूम भी है मैडम, बैंक में पूछे थे वो लोग बोल रहे नहीं नहीं उसके लिए जीएसटी लेके आओ, आईटी लेके आओ, शॉप लाइसेंस लेके आओ, वो ये लेके आओ बोल रहे हैं। मैं बोला बस से, और
yeah,
वो कहते दुकान के बाहर है ना कंपलसरी प्रधानमंत्री का फोटो लगाना कहते।
yeah, all these tactics, because they don't want the project to get succeeded, because they want to implement the project but only on paper. That means they don't want to implement it successfully. They don't want to sanction that amount
मैडम जी
to the beneficiary.
रिसेंटली Madam, ji, recently now in Rajiv Gurukalpa, now Indrama houses, they will be telling in 2 lakhs people, 3 lakhs people I am given बोलते, किसी को भी नहीं मिल रहा मैडम अभी भी, बन के 10 साल हो गया अभी तो मेरा।
If you go and if you do research, if you talk to people, you'll find out that their names are there in the list, but they didn't receive any amount. They are not the beneficiaries. Only their names
Ma'am,
and details are used.
ma'am, beneficiaries get the flags, but that are empty without the basic amenities. Like they don't have irrigation properties, the water
They
disposal.
don't get the basic facilities, and others are not getting.
That too very vacant place at very abandoned places for like they don't they are not suitable for living.
Yeah,
So
that's
this
what
type of
they
things
just
are
want to project that we have sanctioned so much crores of rupees for this particular project, and so many number of people
मैडम जी
have been benefited.
मैडम जी मैडम जी रिसेंटली है ना मैडम जी गवर्नमेंट को है ना मैडम लाइक 100 करोड़ है ना मैडम यानी कि जॉब्स वाले है ना हर कोई है ना फर्स्ट सैलरी दे दी है मैडम जो खम्मम में जो इंस्टेंट हुआ ना जो फ्लोटिंग आया ना उसके लिए दे दी है मगर अभी तक भी वो पैसा उनको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट नहीं करे मैडम
Mm-hmm. That's what.
100 करोड़ मैडम जी
Where is that money? Who should
वेरी दैट
question?
मैडम फिर
Yeah.
अभी बाहर से लोन लेके आ रहे हैं अभी बाहर से परसों भी लोन लेके आए मैडम फिर बाहर से और यहाँ के क्या कर रही है मैडम गवर्नमेंट इतना
So
पैसा लेके कर रही है क्या
it's your role as a journalist, as a rural communicator to question the strategies, the projects, okay?
मैडम जी असल हमारे को हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी से अगर एक अथॉरिटी मिलती ना मैडम हमको प्रोजेक्ट वर्क ऐसा देना मैडम कि इसे
University
टीम
don't
अप
have
में
to authorize. You can, if you are interested, you can do your research.
नो मैडम नो
In
मैडम
social.
रिसर्च यानी कि मैडम हमको कॉलेज से हमको एक अथॉरिटी मिल जाती है ना मैडम एक सिग्नेचर डाल के आप लोग है ना ऐसा रूरल एरिया में जाके ऐसा आप लोग वहाँ से डाटा कलेक्ट करके लेके आना या फिर ऐसा आपका एक दिन का आपका ऐसा जैसे कि रिपोर्टिंग करना बोल के अगर एक हमको एक प्रोजेक्ट ऐसा लाइव में मिलता ना मैडम यानी कि जो फील्ड वर्क मिलता ना वो बहुत अच्छा रहता था मैडम
Mm. Yes, practical exposure will help you.
हम्म
See, I'm telling you, this for project formulation, you have to first see there are all these issues we have been discussing now. The first thing you have to do is if you tomorrow if you go to any rural area to collect information or for your survey also, first you have to identify the attitudes of the people, their needs. What are their needs?
मैडम जी एक चीज बोल दो मैडम अभी भी यहाँ पर भी है ना मैडम मेरे घर के पास भी रिसेंटली थोड़े जनों को घरा भैंसों वालों को भी घरा मिले मैडम फिर रोते रहते उन लोग एक इस मिला दो इस मिले घर को यहाँ
I
के
know
घर छोड़ के
they misuse.
जिसको मिलना है उसको नहीं मिले मैडम
You
जिसको
know
नहीं
this
मिलना है उसको मिल रहे हैं
concept, right? Rich are becoming more rich, poor are becoming more
और
poorer. This is the concept.
यस मैडम दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट मैडम
yes,
इट्स ए न्यू इंडिया मैडम
the targeted audience that just
No,
now
yeah,
we
yeah.
were discussing now, madam. Targeted audience means like this only. Relative will get the benefit
मैडम इट्स ए
compared to
मैडम
others.
ये जो है ना मैडम रियली टारगेट ऑडियंस है मैडम क्योंकि बोले तो टारगेट ऑडियंस कैसा बोले तो उनके जो हाथ के नीचे जो लोग रहते ना मैडम जैसे कि एमएलए एमपी के नीचे जैसे कि उनके पहचान के लोगों को उन लोगों को दिलाना उन पार्टी में घूम रहा तो उसके बच्चे को देना इसको देना उसको देना बस यही हो जा रहा बाकी दूसरे को नहीं मिल रहा
Mm. That's what.
इट्स ए रियली टारगेट
Yeah.
इट्स ए रियली टारगेट पीपल्स मैडम
Targeted audiences are suffering.
ऑडियंस यस मैडम
People suffering.
they will be only used madam not others use madam
Yeah. So first you need to identify their attitude, their needs. What are their needs? Okay. Then I told you, right? The capacity, how whether they are willing to accept or not to any adoption of new things, or to changes, whether they are willing to change or not. So this can be done through discussions, through talks, dialogues. You can consult. Right? There is a consultation process. That means you have to sit with them. See, your psychology students here, Nafisa, Amjad, what you can do is you can sit and counsel those people,
yes madam
beneficiaries,
yes
to
yes
participate, to mobilize, to participate, to make them
Ma'am,
participate.
last time I did, ma'am, for Prajapalan, I have freely distributed this forms to the beneficiaries. Most of the I printed hundred forms in Urdu and English. I give away for the Prajapalana form.
Well, you
Because
have to
of
sit
that,
with them, you
get
have to
the
explain.
मैडम जी
knowledge
रिसेंटली मैडम जी रिसेंटली अभी मैडम जी अभी भी सुबह में ही मैं ऐसे ही जा रहा था तो मेरा दोस्त लेके गया था तो राशन शॉप को लेके गया तो वहाँ पर भी है ना रिसेंटली सब्सिडी के फॉर्म्स है मैडम गैस के तो वो फॉर्म्स है ना उनको राशन शॉप वालों को फिल करने नहीं आ रहा तो उनको समझ में नहीं आ रहा तो पर्टिकुलरली एक बॉक्स बना के इसमें ये मेंशन करना बोल के समझा के करके आया मैडम मैं
You have to make them understand, sit with them, and you have to sit with this intended beneficiaries. That means
And last time also, madam, the last
beneficiaries.
time, madam, the 2014 में भी 2015 में I think गवर्नमेंट यानी कि तेलंगाना गवर्नमेंट एक सर्वे करी थी, देखो मैडम, सर्वे यानी कि उसमें क्या कितना लैंड है, घर में कितने जनों हैं, आधार कार्ड नंबर, वो पूरा करने के लिए जब मैं मेरे घर के पास में तकरीबन जनों मैं करा मैडम जी, हमारे एरिया में मैं भी फिर के करा। वो दिन 2 दिन बंद था ना मैडम, 1-2 दिन बंद था ना, गवर्नमेंट
Yeah.
ऑफिशियली अनाउंस करी थी ना सर्वे करने के लिए।
So see, same thing, you have to go to rural areas and you have to sit with people and do that. You have to talk to them and you have to help them.
Yes.
Okay, so you face lot of problems while mobilizing rural people in convincing them. Okay, but you have to make sure that there is proper information flow. I mean, you have to be an agent between the government and between the rural people, between the beneficiary. You have to, government will launch the projects. You as a rural communicator, as an extension officer, you have to be that bridge between the government and the intended beneficiaries, between the people who are concerned. So there should be proper information flow. There is no information, then how? First, you have to create information. I mean, create awareness and provide information. Maintain a proper flow of information. Right? See, if a rural development project has been planned with the beneficiaries, what becomes essential is their participation and then the mobilization. Because, and if you are able to mobilize people, it is almost certain, that people will definitely accept whatever you say or whatever project you are implementing. They're more likely to accept if they understand it. First of all, they should understand the advantages. You have to focus more on the advantages part. So here communication support play a very important role during project implementation, because you have to keep the people informed, right? If you are informing the people, then you are helping them to mobilize, right? It helps to mobilize them, the information which you're providing. You have to keep that transparency. You have to provide each and every information, right? That means they should be clear about the programs, schemes which are implemented for them. How much amount they'll be getting, what is the paperwork, and you should not keep the paperwork so complicated that people run off. Instead of applying, as you told, there are so many paperworks for that scheme that which you are talking about. People won't come forward for all those things. So you have to keep it very short and simple in order to mobilize them and in order to keep them informed. There is no need of so much lot of paperwork every time they want to gain certain benefit out of a project, right? So you can explain them, you can mobilize them, okay? You can communicate with them, and then you can also use here audio video presentation, right? So that it will be easy for them to understand, right? Audio video presentation in the sense,
यानी कि वो कैसा उसको यूज करना बोल के उसके बारे में समझाने के लिए।
what do you mean by audio video?
Audio video
Audio
messages may be the mobile messages which can be made for the awareness.
You can create something, a
program.
kind of a TV program.
And radio
Recently I saw in
program
Delhi,
announcements.
ma'am, one experience I gained from there. In Delhi now, they used to keep mobile vans, and on the mobile vans, the big LEDs were there. And then in that big LEDs, they are like explaining the themes of related human women and youngsters. So in New Delhi, I saw that. So I like that concept of political leaders. So they are giving the awareness
मैडम जी
content through
मैं भी है
mobile
ना
vans.
मैडम जी मैं भी है ना मैडम, रूरल पीपल्स के लिए भी है ना, मैं भी फ्री कोचिंग सेंटर भी लगाया, आपको मालूम है ना, आपको यूट्यूब चैनल फ्री में सिखाता हूँ उन लोगों को, मैं ट्रेनिंग देता हूँ, आपको मालूम ना मैडम,
So
डेली
ma'am,
कितने की
that is
जरूरत।
audio, video, visual, that is only, na? Audio, video, visuals can also help for the awareness of the person in a mass media or in a mass like group of people.
Yeah. So
And
you have to,
also, I
yeah.
continue, ma'am, continue.
No, you were telling something.
Who, madam?
No,
Me.
that
So in order to design the best project, you have to sit with the beneficiaries, talk to them. Okay. So a project cannot be implemented in isolation. That means you cannot sit here and design the project for rural people without even visiting them, without talking to them, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
madam.
With them, talk to them, and according to that, you have to fine tune your activities, and you can incorporate changes till the last stage. From planning to implementation stage, you can incorporate changes based on the understanding of your target audiences. So you have to have a good communication system with your beneficiaries. You have to keep the communication open where people can come forward and speak up. So you should make those people participate and involve in the project because it's for their development. You have to explain that all the schemes, projects which is being implemented is for their welfare and development. So you have to explain them what is there, what is that benefit which you are getting. Okay. Focus more on the development aspect. So you have to keep the information flow ongoing. That means you have to keep it open. So you also have to ensure there is a proper coordination between various levels. Like as Risha told, there is sarpanch, opinion leaders, how the information is flowing from sarpanch, the opinion leader, to other communities from at the grassroots level. So you have to constantly monitor. Okay. Then there are several problems in reaching for the project to the intended users. Also, reach is also a problem, and apart from reach, the impact also, whether the project is able to create an impact on the beneficiaries or not. This is also a major issue that you have to keep in mind. So to overcome this problem, to reach and the impact problem which I'm talking about, you have to provide training to the people, to your beneficiaries at the grassroots level, right? From the basic, from the scratch. And you have to identify those people who play a very important or prominent role in the community. It could be a sarpanch, a headmaster, a doctor, who people, listen to, blindly follow. Okay. You cannot bring about a celebrity here and to endorse a particular scheme because people won't believe or accept, right? You have to take real people in the community whom they follow or whom they consider themselves as their idol, right? Particularly the opinion leaders. See, this communication technology with the help of ICTs, it's been constantly changing and improving day by day, right? So you can use any interactive medium. So it need not be so much expensive because with the Wi-Fi, hotspot, other facilities, you can use this technology in cheaper ways, and it is very easier to use in rural areas if you are able to manage that network connectivity issue, right? So if you're not able to connect to the internet, new media, you can use audiovisual media, right? There are certain benefits if you are going to use audio, video, or new media, because if you are using this short films or television show, audio, video, it will help the people to overcome the barriers of illiteracy. Because I told you the audiences, the people in the rural areas are segmented into different categories, right? They are illiterates, literates, and semi-literates also, right? So by conveying the ideas
बट मैडम जी, वो लोग को कितना समझाए तो भी नहीं समझते मैडम जी। वो लोग उनको आदत हो गई मैडम वो चीज है। पुराने के लोग
That's
जो
what you
रहते
have
हैं
to
मैडम।
demonstrate and you have to show with the help of audio visual
అంజద్,
medium.
నీకు ఎట్లాగో యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ ఉంది కదా, దాంట్లోనే నువ్వు ప్రతి స్కీమ్ గురించి ఇవి ఇవి రిక్వైర్డ్ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ అనేసి చెప్పొచ్చు. నీకు ఆ
Yeah, you can
ఆపర్చునిటీ ఉంది
demonstrate.
కాబట్టి.
If you show them,
కానీ
it will be
కరెక్ట్ గా
easy for them to
కనుక్కొని
understand.
చెప్పు అన్ని
आज
ఏదైనా
मैडम
గానీ.
आज मैडम आज राशन शॉप वाले इतना खुश हो गए, तीनों को समझाया मैडम, तीन राशन दुकान वालों को क्लियरली समझाया तो उन्हें इतना खुश हो गए, बहुत खुश हो गए मैडम वो लोग तो, बहुत बोलते बहुत।
That's what they need, right? Because we have to overcome these barriers of illiteracy. Why they are not able to understand? Because of this education levels also. So you have
यस
to, there should not be any ambiguity or confusion, right? So you have to convey these ideas and practices in an audio visual form that will be very easy for them to understand if they see in front of their eyes, right? If you show them by demonstrating, if you show them how to fill the form, if you fill and show to with the help of a video, they'll see and they'll fill accordingly, right? It will be easier instead of you going to each and every individual and explaining them. It's better to show in a audio visual format.
यस मैडम, लास्ट टाइम प्रजापालना फॉर्म आल्सो मैडम, आई हैव टू, मैं मेरे वीडियो में भी डाला था मैडम, मेरे दूसरे चैनल में प्रजापालना का फॉर्म कैसा फिल करना, क्या क्या करना बोल के मैं डाला
Very
ऑडियो
good.
वीडियो में।
You are also doing good work in this sector.
Ma'am,
You're
in that
helping people.
Prajapalana situation, many women are not having the knowledge of having that authority. के Prajapalana में women only the beneficiaries. So I
That's
just
what.
make the
Lack of
rules and
awareness.
group I circulate the message. फिर पूरे घर पे आए तो fill करके दी वो form.
Hmm.
And
Very
not
good.
only in these schemes, ma'am, in passport office, every government office,
Yeah.
एवरी
issues are
गवर्नमेंट
raising.
सेक्टर
That's all, ma'am.
So
We
many
have
things.
to fill the forms, 10 to 15 forms, and then
For
write a
small marks
letter.
also they don't want, like they are very ऐसे है मालूम, उन लोग को डर होते रहता फॉर्म फिल करना हो तो कितना रंग जाता कि लाइक दैट.
See, there are certain ways in which you can make things easier, right? See, for example, everything is linked to your Aadhaar. If you just provide your Aadhaar card, automatically you'll get all the details. Why there is a need?
And voter ID and Aadhaar are sufficient, ma'am.
नो नो नो,
Enough for
पैन
them.
आल्सो, पैन आल्सो,
Yeah,
पैन,
I am
मोबाइल
telling that one
नंबर,
only. PAN, Aadhaar, and voter ID. These three are important to
Now,
be a Indian citizen. But
नो
they
नो
are
नो नो
asking whatever we don't have, they are asking about that.
They're
मैडम
unnecessarily
जी,
creating, so
मैडम
much
जी,
confusion among people.
गवर्नमेंट
So that,
गवर्नमेंट क्या कर दी मालूम मैडम, ये पैन कार्ड से आधार कार्ड को लिंक करना कंपलसरी बोल के बोल दी, कंपलसरी।
no,
वो नहीं करेंगे तो वो करने के जाओ तो भी 1,000 रुपये पूछ रहे हैं, वो नहीं करे तो भी 1,000 रुपये चालान
no.
कर रहे हैं।
See, if you simply put a person's Aadhaar number, you'll get all the information. Why in passport office, why do you have to roam from this section to that section, filling all those
I faced
ABCD forms?
that problem, madam, in passport
Yeah.
office.
The general problem faced in
ma'am,
imagine
mostly
in
now
this
one
case.
thing I have noticed in our passport office and wherever, so they are not asking spelling, only they are asking the words, and then they made themselves the spelling mistake of most of the Muslims. And again, during verification, officer came to house, and then he just taken out कि ये नाम आपका नहीं होता because one symbol, one left like Muhammad है तो MOSG आता ना, something like. तो यहाँ
Yeah,
पे
I
भी क्या
see
है
so
miscommunication हो रहा
many issues in my name because people keep adding H in my name.
आई एम
My
एडिंग
name
मैडम, ये वाला
spelling is FATIMA, but they keep adding H. So see
So
if this is
wherever I used to go now, I just spell my words. मैं बोलती हूँ I'll spell it, you just write बोलती हूँ. So that they can also get the idea कि क्या है नाम. Otherwise they will add any other thing.
yeah. See, imagine if this is the case here in urban areas. What's the scenario in rural areas for the same facility for passport, application of passport, renewal of passport, all these things? If we are facing this, is this the case here? Imagine their grievances. Who is going to
Ma'am,
help them?
it is also very difficult because they are relying on the center person who is an agent. Now we know very well that online everything is going on, no agent required. But the rural people are misguided by agents and they are taking thousands of money to give the passport. Even for Mahalakshmi scheme also, sorry, this Kalyan Lakshmi scheme also they are doing the same for all city people. They are rely on agents and they are giving them 20,000 something like amount to get the facility. Even though it is very easy for online purpose, but they don't have the education, na? So that is why they are rely on these agents and the
That's what
beneficiary is agent only.
there is no proper mechanism to monitor all these things, right? That's why unnecessary paperwork is been encouraged. So, audio visual media, if you are making use of audio visual media presentation, you can also illustrate new ideas and techniques for farming community or for any community more effectively, right? It is more effective than word of mouth. What do you mean by word of mouth?
बात बोलना.
Word of mouth. That means
अच्छे बातें बोलना.
no, just word of mouth.
बोलते क्या है मैडम?
You have learned this in your first semester. Word of mouth. If you're simply saying them without any evidence, you're just simply talking.
Oh,
They
yeah.
won't believe, right? You have to show them.
सही बात है मैडम. कुछ भी बोलने से पहले प्रूफ रखना. प्रूफ रख के बोलना.
So you have to show them. So that's what. Simply
Can
saying.
give an example of WhatsApp messages now, madam. Simply followed, like simply transferring the messages without any verification, like that also word of mouth.
No. Word of mouth is not that. That is another concept. We call it as WhatsApp University fake news. No, that is different thing. Word of mouth means simply talking. Okay, see, if you watch a film and if you give your opinion,
You
if
have
you
any proof?
see a
You
particular
can
film and
talk.
you don't like that film, so you say me that okay, please, ma'am, don't watch that particular movie. It's not good. That's your opinion. That's just a word of mouth. So you're not a critic, film critic, or you have not surveyed people to. It's your particular point of view. Just a word of mouth. So people won't believe it or accept it easily. So you have to demonstrate. So this will improve the impact of all these extension activities on people. You have to provide etiquette training also. Unless and until you provide them training, what kind of training you can provide?
What, madam? I can't
You have been
understand.
helping people, right, to fill forms, right, to do paperwork,
Forms or
the skills.
to make some videos for education purpose or how to do that. This
मैंने उन लोगों को दिए तो भी है ना मैडम. उन्हें एक ही बात बोलते, थोड़ा बोलने से अच्छा थोड़ा फिल करके दे दो बोलते तो.
That's what I'm telling you. You have to sit and convince them. You have to bring that change in the mindset.
Yes, madam.
You don't have to fill it yourself. You have to make them fill. You have to make them understand.
एंड
मैडम
मैडम उन लोगों को
मैडम जी,
तेलुगु आता नहीं तो हिंदी आता. इंग्लिश
मैडम
कैसे
जी,
आता मैडम उन लोगों को? इंग्लिश
मैडम
में
जी,
फॉर्म फिल
मैडम
करो
जी,
बोले तो कहाँ से फिल करते मैडम उन लोग?
एक मिनट श्रीशा.
That
मैडम
is
जी
another story.
रिसेंटली तेलंगाना गवर्नमेंट महालक्ष्मी स्कीम के लिए यानी कि बस फ्री के लिए यानी कि तेलंगाना रहना बोल के बोले आधार कार्ड. पहले के लोगों के पास सबके पास एपी बोल के था मैडम. तो वो लोग को बस में नहीं चाहिए, उस बस में वो लोग को टिकट ले रहे थे. तो उसके लिए है ना एक लेडी आई थी. मैं जब भी है ना कुछ काम से गया था जेरोक्स सेंटर, तो उन्हें बोल रहे कि मेरे को आधार कार्ड ये फिल करके देना है. मेरे को उसमें तेलंगाना आना, मेरे को आंध्र प्रदेश है. मैं ये हैदराबाद में पैदा हुई, मेरा हैदराबाद में ही रही मैं, मगर उन्होंने अभी तक उन्होंने आधार कार्ड को यानी कि फिर उसको अपडेट नहीं करा लिया उन्होंने. तो उसमें क्या है, उनको एपी बोलती है. तो उन्होंने आके मैं बोला उनको फॉर्म फिलअप करके देना पड़ा मेरे, क्योंकि बोला तो उन्हें तेलंगाना के है, उन्होंने क्या बोलते जाति घर है उनका सब चीज. यानी कि पहले के आधार कार्ड में एपी था ना मैडम. रिसेंटली हुआ तेलंगाना हुआ, मगर जब से कोई भी नहीं करा लिया, ज्यादातर जनों अभी तक अपडेट नहीं करा लिया मैडम. वो तेलंगाना ओनली फ्री बसेस के लिए ही लोग है ना मैडम. ओनली लेडीज ही करा लिया ज्यादातर की जन आधार सेंटर जाके. हेलो.
Yeah.
तो फिर वैसे लोगों को तो अपन करके देना ही पड़ता ना मैडम.
That's
ओल्ड
that
लेडीज.
you don't have to do it. You have to train them. You have to make them feel. You have to make them understand what are the things. What are the changes? Unless and until you make them do, they won't know what are the changes. If you fill and give, they won't understand, right?
Yes, madam.
What are the changes? You have to explain them. You have to sit and you have to make them right. So also if you're
एक चीज है मैडम जी, एक चीज है मैडम जी, टू नोटिस, प्रजापालना जो है ना मैडम, जो फॉर्म दिया ना, वो फॉर्म में कुछ यूज एसर का तो ज्यादातर है ही नहीं है मैडम, उसमें ज्यादातर जो है ना
unnecessary details.
अननेसेसरी डाटा है पूरा, जो पूछे से 10 बार पूछ रहा हूँ।
Yeah. That is the reason why people don't come forward to avail any scheme.
Yes,
because
madam.
of paperwork.
इतना
That's
सब रह रहा होगा, इतना
that's
सब रह रहा होगा
like
लोग
show
आना
this
मैडम।
in video format to help people, right?
गवर्नमेंट की इंस्ट्रक्शंस नहीं लगाई मैडम, पर्टिकुलरली ये
By
फिल्टर नहीं
government
कर दो।
agencies, you can also do that. You can initiate yourself. Companies, NGOs, journalists, right? Then officers placed in agricultural universities, those are known as extension officers. We all have a role to play. Anybody can
Yes.
go. We as a common normal citizen also, common people can go and help them, right?
Yes, madam.
Anybody can initiate. So if we are showing anything in audio video format, it will help you to save your time. It will save a lot of time, right? Instead of going to people individually, right? What you can do is, you can show it in a video format. It will save your time, and then people can gather at one place, and at a time they can clear their doubts. You don't have to roam everywhere, right? And then you also want to pass on some technical knowledge or technical information, you can do so by audio video materials or format, or you can also demonstrate, right? Demonstration way is also best way to illustrate, right? You can give the best available advice to the community, whether farming community, women, your targeted community, right? So you have to first ensure that the technical information is first understood by the people. For example, I know it sounds weird, but if anybody wants to apply online for any scheme, you have to impart that technical knowledge, basic technical knowledge on how to go about searching that scheme online, identifying and filling the form. Because we have internet penetration in rural areas. It's far better when compared to earlier times right now. Every household at least have one handset with internet. So you have to provide that technical training also on how to go about filling that form. So that also can be done through online, right? I mean through audio video presentation. So this will help this information to penetrate to the most remotest area also. That means you can, OB vans, right? You make use of that. You can make use of video on wheels. You can go to the remote areas and you can display those videos for the benefit of the people. In order to make them understand, you can make use of this audiovisual communication. Okay. So this will ensure that the best you are making use as a extension or officer or a rural communicator, extension communicator, you are making use of the best available resources, right? In order to reach out to the rural people. And you are also applying the best training and other extension programs to the benefit of the rural community. And then there are so many campaigns being carried out, right? So these
Yes,
communication campaigns,
education campaigns.
Hmm?
मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल अभी भी वो लोग ये नहीं मालूम मैडम कि काउंसलिंग सेंटर होता क्या बोलते हैं, यानी कि जैसे कि स्टूडेंट्स को जैसे कि डिग्री, जैसे कि पीजी, उसमें बीकॉम,
Your
उसमें तो लोग को
psychology
काउंसलिंग।
student also doesn't know. Yes.
यस मैडम, साइकोलॉजी काउंसलिंग नहीं बोल रहा हूँ मैं, यानी कि स्टूडेंट्स
No,
काउंसलिंग।
normally I'm telling you, this is the case. This is the scenario.
हाँ यस मैडम, वो अभी तक भी वो लोगों को अभी तक भी वो नहीं मालूम कि थोड़े जनों को काउंसलिंग है क्या बोलते हैं।
Yeah. So you
मेरा
have
फर्स्ट
to
वीडियो इसके ऊपर ही था मैडम, मेरा फर्स्ट वीडियो इसके ऊपर ही था, एजुकेशन वीडियोस में फर्स्ट वीडियो यही था।
so just creating videos is not enough. You have to make sure that it is reaching the targeted people,
यस मैडम।
right? So here campaigns will bring together all the communication formats which we have discussed, right? What we have discussed, interpersonal, group
मास
communication,
मीडिया,
communication.
मास
Yeah.
मीडिया,
Yeah.
मास
All these
मीडिया।
communication methods we can incorporate into a campaign. And this campaign can be for a short period of time, right? For a few months,
यस
usually maximum up to 6 months, a campaign will be run. So this
यस मैडम।
campaign will aim to promote a few objectives, right? If you have to, you have to clearly define your objectives.
हाउ
Okay.
कैन द फाइंड द ऑब्जेक्ट्स मैडम?
For example, if you are defining an objective for farming community, so your goal or your objective can be to improve the cultivation techniques for a certain available crop, or control of pest, use of pesticide. You want to train your targeted audience, farmers, on these areas. So your objectives is to improve cultivation techniques of so and so crop, or a certain crop, or the use of pesticide or control of pests. These would be your objectives. So you have, depending upon your problem, your your problem identification, you have to define your objectives. Then based on your objectives, you have to select the appropriate communication methods or channels or approach.
एसएलसीआर
No, earlier we discussed, right? Communication strategy.
गोल्स।
Yeah.
Three
That.
types of communication.
यस यस मैडम, आई नो मैडम।
So all these things are done in order to bring, rural communication is mostly done to bring socio-economic development,
कल्चर।
overall development in the people, rural people. Because I told you, right, most of the majority of the Indian population resides in rural areas. So
रूरल
that's why
एरियाज, यस मैडम।
it is very essential for us to take care of that chunk of population who are residing there. So you have to constantly provide them inputs, and you have to provide them services. You have to create awareness, provide facilities. You have to work with NGOs, government organizations, corporate companies, with your organization, with
Volunteers.
government. Yeah, you have to volunteer. So
Recently, no, madam, AP government also volunteers they will be used in a pensions, madam. They will be go and home to home. They will be given to.
you can act as a volunteer if you are interested. You can serve the
Yes.
people.
No, madam, the volunteers they will be paying a 3,000 to 5,000 rupees money, madam, every month. It could be
Then it's
helpful, madam.
deployed on behalf of the government, right? So
Yes, yes,
individually also you can go and do that thing.
yes.
So these campaigns are based on careful analysis with the rural people. That means you have to sit with them, talk to them, analyze their behavior. You have to concern their knowledge, right? How much is their knowledge? What is their attitude? What are the practices they follow, right? So whether they would be able to accept or not, and what are the information channels that they usually find credible. That means they trust on which channel, print or audio, video, television, which channel they find most suitable or credible, right? Or the people or opinion leaders who may influence them, right? You have to identify whether it is sarpanch, I told you, right? Opinion leaders. Who are the opinion leaders there?
वो लोग बस अपना पेट देख लेते हैं मैडम, दूसरों का नहीं देखते। अगर वो लोग डेवलप करना बोले तो गांव को कभी भी
If you
डेवलप कर
want to
सकते हैं मैडम,
mobilize
पर वो
people,
लोग
you
होने नहीं
have
देते,
to
वो
influence
लोग
these
डेवलप
people
होने नहीं
first.
देते।
It's not the case everywhere. Now you have to identify others. Okay, if sarpanch is not interested, you can identify a headmaster or a doctor or a healthcare provider who people respect and follow.
नहीं मैडम, जो जो गांव का मुखिया रहता है ना, यानी कि जो सरपंच रहता है ना मैडम, उन्हें हेड रहता, उन अकेला अगर सही रहा समझो मैडम, सब लोग सही रहते।
That's what you have to sit with him and you have to mobilize him first. You have to change his attitude. So it's not
Yes,
so easy process. It's a time consuming process and it takes a lot of initiative. And mind you,
उसको
it's
मालूम
sometimes
रहता
risky
मैडम,
also. Yeah.
सरपंच को मालूम रहता ये मैं अगर चेंज हुआ तो सब कुछ चेंज होता बोल के, मगर वैसे कंटिन्यू करते रहता उसको।
But
मैं चेंज कर दिया तो
you
ला
can
आगे
your
निकल
effort
जाते, मेरे को
to,
भूल
yeah,
जाते।
change, right?
हम्म।
So this campaign can use any variety of different communication channels. Campaign can be interpersonal. What are the channels? Group communication, mass
इंटरपर्सन,
communication.
ग्रुप कम्युनिकेशन, मास कम्युनिकेशन।
So in order to reach the particular target audiences with the same basic message, you can use any channel, okay, or combination of these channels. And you can also slightly make differences in messages which you want to circulate in those particular channels, right?
यस मैडम।
So all these campaign activities you have to constantly monitor and you have to access the impact also. You have to see if there are any errors in the approach, right? And you have to fine tune, you have to modify by fine tuning the messages, and also you have to take care of the delivery aspect also of the messages, whether the message, the campaign is able to reach out to the targeted audiences or not. So for this, you have to, mostly work on the marketing techniques, right? You have to make sure that your campaign is popular. The example, pulse polio campaign, very
हेल्थ कैंपेन।
they included Amitabh Bachchan. It was proven remarkably successful in providing people with the information they need, right? It was the basis for attitudinal change and behavioral change in the mindsets of the people. You can go through this polio campaign.
यस यस मैडम, पोलियो कैंपेन। ओके।
Okay. So any initiative will require, for any program or strategy or any initiative to be successful, it require communication, good communication. It all depends on how well you handle or tackle the rural people, how well you are able to modify their attitudes and their behavior, and how well you are able to provide impart new skills and knowledge. Okay, then only they will be able to normally get benefit from the scheme or the campaign. So for all the projects, this has to be the base. You have to work with various ministries and authorities. You have to sit, explain, and you have to provide all the necessary means and linkages to assure that the message is properly drafted. You have to coordinate with the all types of management. Okay.
ओके मैडम।
मैडम आपको होस्ट बना के चले गए।
I know.
नहीं मैडम, अभी तो फुल टाइम है मैडम अपने पास, आप आधा घंटा भी एक्स्ट्रा ले सकते।
I just have
हेलो।
5 minutes.
नो मैडम, और मोर 5 मिनट्स मैडम।
సార్ ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేస్తా అంటున్నారు కదా క్లాసెస్
Classes, yes.
नहीं करते
టూ
सर,
టైమ్స్
अच्छा, ये भी पेपर
2
वर्क ही
days.
रहता था,
Offline
जो पेपर।
classes sir is
नहीं नहीं नहीं
planning,
नहीं
right?
नहीं 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 मैडम जी, ये भी पेपर वर्क ही रहता है मैडम, जस्ट पेपर पे ही बोलते हैं, फिर बाद में इम्प्लीमेंटेशन नहीं करते इसको।
So you have to go and monitor.
నువ్వు వెళ్తావు కదా ఎట్లాగో సార్ దగ్గరికి, అప్పుడు చెప్పు సార్కి, గిరి సార్కి.
जैसे गवर्नमेंट वाले जैसा मेरे को
15th
बोलते ना
October
ये
is the last date for your project submission, and 25th I think you will have Viva. So focus on your project. Out that you are done with your classes, you will be given your assignments next week.
मैडम
So
जी
finish your
2 साल
assignments on time.
मैडम जी 2 साल हमारे को पढ़ाने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
Thank you for
Especially
paying everyone, Amjad and everybody.
Thank you, madam.
మేడం స్పెషల్లీ యూ బేడ్ అమ్జద్ మేడం.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, madam.
I need no thanks for
मेरे को
my
दो
in the classes.
नहीं मैडम मेरे को
Madam,
2
thank
साल
you
जो
very much,
आप लोग
madam. Actually, I am the irregular candidate. Yadagiri, madam.
Yes,
Padma,
yes.
madam, thank you so
Yes.
much. I am the irregular candidate, but I know very well about this. Thank
You
you
are
so much.
it's online. Yes,
Thank you very much, madam.
welcome.
యాదగిరి గారు మీరు ఎక్కడి నుంచి?
నేను నల్గొండ.
Oh, Nalgonda.
Okay.
Okay. Study center.
మీరు
నల్గొండ స్టడీ సెంటర్.
రఘు గారు మీరు?
నేను విజయవాడ అంజద్ గారు.
Okay,
Okay,
Vijayawada, Nalgonda. Nikhil, you are from Hyderabad Study Center only, right?
సిక్కిం. సిక్కిం
No.
మేడం.
Yes,
స్టడీ సెంటర్ హైదరాబాద్.
స్టడీ సెంటర్ హైదరాబాద్.
Okay, Ramakrishna.
ఆంధ్ర ఐ థింక్. విజయవాడ. ఓకే.
Vijayawada. Okay. Then Kulsum, Hyderabad,
సికింద్రాబాద్.
Secunderabad.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
నదియా
Secunderabad.
నదియా దుండిగల్ మేడం.
No, Nadia is regular student. She is always active but silent.
అసలు సైలెంట్ అంటే నదియా ఒక్కటే, మిగతా వాళ్ళందరూ మాట్లాడుతూనే ఉంటారు.
మీ ఆల్సో మేడం. మై ఆల్సో.
సైలెంట్,
Never silent.
సైలెంట్.
I'm just silent.
క్వశ్చన్ బ్యాంక్, అమ్జద్ ఇస్ క్వశ్చన్ బ్యాంక్.
He's ready
Anjad
with
is silent but
వెరీ సైలెంట్ బాయ్.
exams also. Instead of writing answers, he'll have lot of questions to write.
आप लोगों के पास एक
Paper-
क्वेश्चन रहता है, मेरे पास 10 क्वेश्चन रहते हैं मैडम.
See, you all were my first batch in my career, teaching career. You were the
Oh,
first
ma'am,
batch.
thank you.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మేడం.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మ్యామ్.
2
thank
years.
you very much, ma'am.
Welcome. I'm always there. See, if you need any guidance or any information, so don't think that this is the end of the semester, ma'am won't be available. So I'll be there. If you have any doubts, you can get in touch with me.
Okay, madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, and
Thank you
all
so
the
much,
best
ma'am.
for your projects, for your exams, assignments.
Ma'am, please give important questions, no?
That
Thank you.
I'll share. Before the exams. Okay, I'll circulate. Don't worry about that.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Focus on your project. Welcome. Focus on your project.
Okay, ma'am.
Everyone start 4th chapter.
Okay, third, fourth.
Fourth chapter.
Fourth chapter.
In
Okay, ma'am.
15 days, you should complete at least 80% of your work.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
मैडम जी मेरे को नहीं बोल रहे मैडम आप.
इतने देर बोले सो क्या है, तुम्हारे बारे में ही बोले.
Amjad, I think he's completed.
Why
50%
Nikhil
of
sir
his
is
project.
silent today?
नदिया आल्सो साइलेंट.
That's why.
Nikhil sir is observing.
Yeah, why?
Observer.
Everybody is emotional. Last class.
नहीं
Today is very-
इमोशनल मैडम जी. इमोशनल हो रहे सब लोग. कई बोले तो फिर इसके बाद में नहीं मिलते ना ऑनलाइन पे. ऑफलाइन में भी नहीं मिलते, ऑनलाइन में भी नहीं मिलते. నా
I
నంబర్
will
ఉందా
try
మీ దగ్గర?
speaking to Giri sir for the
యాదగిరి
class.
గారు, యాదగిరి గారు నా నంబర్ ఉందా మీ దగ్గర? రఘు గారు
ఉంది అంజద్, మాట్లాడాం కదా మనము.
అవునా? ఇగో నేను చాట్ బాక్స్ లో పెడుతున్నా చూడండి నా నంబరు.
పెట్టు అంజద్ భాయ్, మాట్లాడేది నీతో పెట్టు.
ఓకే నేను నంబర్ పెడతా, ఈ నంబర్ పెట్టుకోండి. మీకు నా గ్రూప్ లో యాడ్ చేపిస్తా. 9849642748. నేను నంబర్ పెట్టాను చూడండి.
ఏ డౌట్ వచ్చినా అమ్జద్ ని మాత్రం పట్టుకొని అడగండి.
Okay.
I'm also leaving my number and email ID.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
मैडम जी आपका लीविंग नंबर डाल रहे बोल रहे ना, आप चले जा रहे बोले.
नंबर डालते हैं, आईडी डालते हैं, मेल आईडी डालते बोले.
ओके फिर चल जाते बोले, लीविंग बोल के
हाँ,
बोले.
लीव करते हैं अभी.
कहीं को अभी 10 मिनट है ना.
ఎక్కడ 10 मिनट 6 అయిపోయింది.
हाँ तो कल कल 2-2 मिनट 4-3 ऑनलाइन क्लासों में देख रहा हूँ मैडम को है ना 2-2 3-3 मिनट पहले चल जा रहे, तो अब वो कंटिन्यू कर लेना यार.
Amjad bhai.
So for this subject, you have to cite
Special-
exam of stream.
స్పెషల్లీ మీ అందరి కోసమే మీకు అక్కడ ఆన్లైన్ క్లాస్ లో ఆఫ్లైన్ క్లాస్ లో సరిగా జరుగుతలేవని స్పెషల్లీ నేను ఈ మన జర్నలిజం గ్రూప్ లో అడ్మిన్ గా ఉండి ప్రతి ఒక్క మెసేజ్ అనేది నేను పాస్ ఆన్ అందుకే చేస్తాను మేడం, మీకు అక్కడ హెల్ప్ అవుతుందని అంతే. ఎవ్వరు కూడా మా దాంట్లో ఎవ్వరు పట్టించుకోరు, మా దాంట్లో ఎంత మంది ఉన్నారు కానీ వాళ్ళది వాళ్ళే చూసుకుంటారు తప్ప కానీ వేరే వాళ్ళ గురించి ఆలోచించారు.
నువ్వు ఉన్నావుగా భయ్యా.
అమ్జద్ హామిద్ భాయ్ స్పెషల్లీ
హామిద్ భాయ్,
ఇద్దరు మాత్రం బాగా కేర్ తీసుకుంటారు స్టూడెంట్స్.
నాకు ఎందుకంటే ఇంగ్లీష్ టైపింగ్ ఎక్కువ తొందరగా రాదనేసి హామిద్ భాయ్ మంచిగా తొందరగా చేసిస్తాడని. ఆయన కూడా భలే.
అంజద్ అన్న మీరు చేసిండ్రానా?
నాది హైదరాబాద్, సికింద్రాబాద్.
సికింద్రాబాద్.
Anyhow, you all will be meeting for Viva, right? All the sets.
మీకు వైవా కూడా ఇక్కడే ఉంటదా యాదగిరి గారు?
అవును, వీళ్ళకందరికి ఇక్కడే ఉంటది కానీ వీళ్ళకి
ఏదైనా
ఆన్లైన్ లో
కానీ
తీసుకుంటారు.
ఎక్కడ బ్రాంచ్ అయినా కానీ ఇక్కడే ఉంటదా?
లేదు వీళ్ళకు ఈసారి లాస్ట్ ఇయర్
మాకు
వాళ్ళకు
లేదు, నల్గొండలో ఏం లేదు కాబట్టి అక్కడికే రావాలి మేము.
ఓకే.
లేదు తెలంగాణ వాళ్ళందరికీ ఇక్కడికే రావాలి. ఆంధ్ర వాళ్ళకి స్పెషల్ ఏంటంటే లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ వాళ్ళకు ఆంధ్ర వాళ్ళకు కూడా ఒక 4-5 జరగలేదన్నమాట. వాళ్ళకు వీళ్ళకి ఒకటేసారి కలిపి ఒకటేసారి తీసుకుంటారు, లేదనంటే ఆన్లైన్ లో తీసుకుంటారు. మీకు వైవా
కూడా ఆన్లైన్ లో తీసుకుంటారు అంజాద్?
అంటే
తీసుకుంటారు.
ఇప్పుడు విజయవాడ ఫ్లడ్స్ వచ్చినాయి కదా, అట్లా కుదరకపోతే ఆన్లైన్ లో తీసుకుంటారు.
ఇప్పుడు మీకు బిజినెస్ ఉంటే మీకు ఏదైనా పనులు ఉండే అనుకోండి, అప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు మీరు
అప్పుడు
వచ్చి
సార్ కి చెప్పాలి, యాదగిరి సార్ కి చెప్పాలి పలానా దగ్గర ఉన్నాం సార్ రాలేకపోతున్నాం అని చెప్తే సార్ చేస్తారు, ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తారు.
Just for information sake.
Immediate emergency, it's offline.
Okay.
You have to
సెంటర్
come
కి వచ్చి చేయడమే
campus,
మంచిది.
campus.
వచ్చి చేయడమే better.
Yes.
చాలా బెస్ట్ అది.
చూసినట్టు అన్నా ఉంటది, అందరినీ కలిసినట్టు కూడా ఉంటది.
నేనైతే అంజద్ భాయ్ నేనైతే నీతో పర్సనల్ గా మాట్లాడాలి, ఎందుకంటే నేను అంతా వదిలేసి చాలా దూరంగా ఉన్నా నేను ఇప్పుడు.
Yes,
no problem.
Nadia, why are you so silent? Are you listening or
Nadia
sleeping?
నో మేడం, లిజనింగ్ మ్యామ్.
ఈటింగ్ షుగర్, ఓన్లీ
ఈటింగ్ షుగర్.
ఫాతిమా మేడం, థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ మేడం.
Welcome, welcome. And thank you everybody for
ఆ రోజు సినర్జీ దానికి వచ్చిన ఆ రోజు కలిసిన మేడం, మళ్ళీ ఇంతవరకు ఎవరిని కలవలేదు. క్లాస్
Now we'll meet in Viva or any exams.
జనరల్ సినర్జీకి వచ్చారా మీరు?
అవును.
Yeah. You were there for the class as well, no? Before.
హలో.
Yes మేడం, బిఫోర్ కూడా వచ్చాను నేను. సెకండ్ సెమిస్టర్ లో వచ్చినాను.
Yes.
సెకండ్ సెమిస్టర్ లో క్లాసులు విన్నా, తర్వాత ఇక కుదరలేదు.
Okay. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll plan for a get together once you're done with your exams.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you very much,
Thank you, madam. Fatima, madam. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, my dear classmates.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
Call చేస్తాను. Thank you.
Thank you.
Finally, thank you everybody for giving me precious memories. And you are my first batch of students. Thank you.
Madam, thank you, madam. We are the lucky.
Okay, take care everybody. All the best. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Otherwise, the host will come and he'll end.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm ending the meeting, okay? Bye.
Okay, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
బాయ్ మేడం.
బాయ్ మ్యామ్. బాయ్. ఆ వీడియోలు చూడు, ఒక్కరన్నా వీడియోలు చూపిస్తలేరు దేవుడా. మన ఒక్కరమే అంజద్ భాయ్, ఇట్లన్నా చూసుకుంటాం, ఏం చేస్తాం.
Switch on your video. We'll take a screenshot.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Switch on, everybody. Switch on your videos.
1 second, madam. Light on.
Anybody who is operating in mobile, please take a.
Anyhow, నిఖిల్ బాయ్ అయితే ఓపెన్ చేసిండు మంచిగా. సబ్జెక్ట్ వెనకాల మొత్తం పుస్తకాలే దేవుడా.
Everybody switch on your cameras.
రామకృష్ణ బాయ్, నమస్తే.
Where is Sirisha? He left.
Sirisha,
participants.
Hello, Nikhil.
Hello, ma'am.
I'm screenshot, madam. Screenshot ले लिया मैं.
Where is Sirisha? Nafisa.
No counter, madam.
రఘు తీయట్లేడు.
Everybody has on. Switch on their camera. Nadia, switch on your camera. Raghu.
Ma'am, my phone is problem, ma'am. Video is not on, ma'am.
We'll take a screenshot. Amjad, let everybody
Yes, madam.
switch on.
I am on, madam. I am 24 hours on.
Raghu, try. We'll take.
Video on it, రాలేదు video.
Amjad, before taking a screenshot, inform. Ready. 1,
Yes,
2, 3,
madam.
something. Timer.
नहीं ले लिया मैडम, स्क्रीनशॉट ले लिया. एक मिनट 1 सेकंड. 1 2 3. అరే అరే రఘు గారు కూడా వచ్చారు కదా. 1 సెకండ్.
రఘు సార్ వచ్చారమ్మా.
2 seconds.
1 2.
I know you all are tired, but still, last class.
Yes, it's the last end of the class.
Day end only, not last class. Only day.
No. Online also last class.
అవునా? Oh my
We'll
God.
try.
Online
Yeah.
last class.
Yes, ma'am.
Online and 4th semester also last class. Second semester, second year also
last class.
Yes.
Okay.
Still now
If you are
day
done,
1 నుంచి
shall we
first
end?
semester నుంచి
Once
now.
again, I'll call Sirisha to join.
Why madam? उनो काम चोरे madam. उनो कोई को madam.
No, we'll have one photograph.
Photograph.
Here, line
Yeah, with Sirisha. Screenshot. Sorry. You all might be tired, I know. Just 2 minutes.
మళ్ళా నదియ గారు మళ్ళీ వెళ్ళారు ఆఫ్లైన్ లోకి
Nadia
వెళ్ళి
left?
వచ్చారు.
Okay. I'm texting Sirisha to join. Where is Nafisa? She left.
Left बोलते madam. Left hand. उनो left hander है madam.
Yeah. She's also left-hander. I'm also left-hander. Who left?
Sirisha is not coming madam.
Ramakrishna left. And thank you, special thanks to Amjad for constantly troubling me in all the classes with his questions. His question bank, rightly said by Nadia and Sirisha. If you give answers also, he'll try to search question in that answer.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
But Nafisa also searching in Google, madam.
మేడం నేనైతే లక్కీ మేడం, ఎందుకంటే లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ వింటున్నా, మళ్ళీ సెకండ్ సెమిస్టర్ లో విన్నా, లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ విన్నందుకు థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Nikhil, day 1, first semester also I will see madam.
No, Nikhil active from first semester till 4th semester day, last day also.
Thank you, madam.
థ్యాంక్ యూ. అడ్వకేట్ ఉంటది.
25th October.
Viva will be meet.
Yes.
Yeah?
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Amjad.
So I think they won't join.
Bye, sir.
We'll leave.
Bye sir. Bye Nikhil.
Bye.
Bye Yadgiri garu.
Bye, ma'am.
All the best.
Bye,
All
bye.
the best. All the best. All the best.
All the best.
All the best, everybody. Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you, ma'am.
madam. Thank you so much, madam.
Welcome. I'm ending. Okay.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.